The last 5 years of my life, and probably speaking for a lot of you, have been single-handedly the best life learning experience that you've ever had. And here's why. You see, if you're like me, I was easily gullible to being told what to believe, what to think, what the news tells you. And this is by design in some sense because of the structure that we live in. The doctors are placed there because we think they know best. The newscasters are there because we think they know the news. And you have every single profession with all these guys thinking that they know what's right and what's better. If you've seen my last videos in the last week, if you've seen any news these days, you've been told, and you've been told in a convincing way, how some narrative, how some story is being structured, what the ethical, moral ideologies are in society today. And you're seeing it with the children, you're seeing it with all of what's being presented to you in the news and so many things. And so I want to remind people that God, He wins. God has control of everything, but it's up to you to take a step back and to do a double take. If you do a double take before some news is out, because the news and what they present to you is very easy to decipher now. You see terrorist attacks, red flags being done right before some news comes out that exposes the bad guys. So they're doing things to distract you. They're pitting you against each other. Race wars, religious wars, many things. They're pitting you to get you to be distracted from the perspective, which is reality, which if you step back and you see the bigger picture, the puppet masters, the people that are instigating, the people that are telling you what to believe, what to think, the news stories that come out, they're shaping the narrative. And if you do anything but digest it at face value, then you begin to see that there's more to this. And you're learning from experience. You're learning from what they told you about the moment that Trump walked down the stairs. Something was wrong with that presidency in the sense that he was not one of them. And so as you started waking up, as you started going through COVID, as you started going through all of these hoaxes, this, demonizing smear campaigns that we've seen from all over, from these bad guys, they're doing it to everybody that is doing things in the name of good. And if you take it, and even more so than that, where even the supposed good guys, the bad guys, if there is hypothetically this war going on, if you take a minute, take a step back and say the news, when it comes out, is there something more than that? Was certain people really a bad guy? Or did they have to be a sacrificial piece on the chessboard because they had to expose something else? They had to bring certain court cases, for example, into the fold, into the actual court docket and have it legally be entered. What other precedents are being set before you, before other things, good things can happen? So some of these deeper things, it's bigger than what you see at face value. So every time something comes out and you're wondering why this person endorsed that person, why is it that this person is being brought to the forefront? Why is it that XYZ happened, that they seemingly said these things? Realize that there's something deeper that is probably going on, that if you, watch any of these political shows, right, on Netflix or whatever it is, if you watch any of them, you realize that there's depth, there's complexity behind what's being said and shown in the public and the public limelight versus what has to happen behind the scenes in order to do something for the greater good, to confuse the enemy, to cause chaos so that the enemy's camp is exposed and brought to light at the expense of this appearance, this game of trying to look good and make sure that the public, PR is not bad. So there's a bigger issue going on. So that's why people are taking a step back and asking themselves, why is it that certain things are happening and this person or that person is doing it? One example is, the Ron DeSantis thing, right? Why is he funneling in all these other quote unquote bad people or good people? Is there a strategy there? Is he and Trump working together so that he can pull in the votes from all these other people so that there's nobody else being pit against Trump only for him to back away last minute? Who knows? Who knows what's going on behind the scenes? If you do the research, you may come to a strong conclusion. What I'm saying is that if you learned anything from optics, from perception, from whoever is telling you the news, if you take a step back, you do a double take, you see it for what it is, and then you ask yourself deeper critical thinking questions. The first of which is, did it actually happen? Is what they're saying actually correct, or are they spinning it in a certain way to get you to think a certain ideology, thought process? So if you begin there and then you begin to pull it apart, nitpick at it and say, okay, so what could it be that is happening here? Are they spinning the story in a certain way? Are they only highlighting certain things? And when these people do it, is it a trap by the good guys or somebody else who's trying to bait them in to tell the news or whoever to say a story in a certain way? See, there's so much complexity. The point is that you have to realize that, as I've said for a long time, do not take things at face value. Think twice about it. When everybody's on board telling you to take the jab and take this and that, eat this, go here, think this way, think that way. You have to take a step back, do a double take, ask the Lord for discernment, and begin to critically think about these things. And I guarantee you, if you have a desire for the truth, if you have a desire not to look like a fool, I don't want to be the minority quack conspiracy guys, I don't want to be one of the small guys over there that's just doing these fringe things. If you actually desire the truth, if you actually desire to make a choice that's beneficial for you and to strive after for truth, then I guarantee you will be in a much better place, not only for your life, but for the sake of society, for the sake of this collective hive mind that people are going down. So you're waking up, but I also want to give you this encouraging word. Do not, again, this is information warfare that we are in. This is a 5D, right? 5-dimensional psyops war that we are in. And people don't realize how much there's a lot of red flags, false flags. There's a lot of fakery going on, a lot of maybe AI-driven stuff. Maybe there's things that people have to just make up for you to have a certain outcome, a mindset, an emotion. And when you think about what the effect that it's doing, is it calming you? Is it instigating you? What is it doing? And think about that from that lens and that perspective. And so don't react. Never have this hopeless, I knew it, defeated mentality. Just take a step back. You have a relationship with him. You have him. That's all you need. Fixate on him. And when you try to discern the news, making health choices, political choices, education choices, financial choices, whatever choice you got to make, you have to be informed. But just know that you want to do a double take, because it could save your life. It saved my life. It saved many other people's lives. But it can save your life if you stop, you do a double take, and you say, okay, Lord, what's going on here? Help me to discern the situation. Help me not to react. Help me not to be emotional. Help me not to make educated guesses, thinking that I only know one perspective. There may be multiple perspectives. It may be done for a reason, for another purpose. They look like a bad guy. They look like they're taking the hit for a reason, but there might be something else going on. And so we don't know that full story. But the strategists, the tacticians, military, whoever, they know these things and they know what's happening. And so let it play out. Stop reacting. Get right with the Lord. Repent and have an optimistic, God-fearing mentality, because you can't forget, God wins this whole thing. He's in full control. Love you guys. If whatever this means to you in your personal life, or as it's related to the broader things that are happening right now, just know we're in good hands. Love you guys. Talk to you guys very soon.